Hey guys, Miranda Manticos here, psychic channeler for Divine Feminine Collective, spiritual teacher. I have a message for you. So, um, this is something that's been on my heart for a while to put together to help the collective of whoever is ready to awaken their psychic abilities. Okay. Um, and when I was channeling um, uh, the best way to deliver this message, what I kept hearing was water to wine, water to wine, water to wine. Okay, so we know that, I don't know if you saw my video. If not, go back and watch it. It's available on all my platforms. But the message that I said about Christ being connected to the water and him walking on water and blessing in water and baptizing in water and everything being water, okay? If you go back to the root meaning of the divine name, the I am, okay? The root meaning is the one who becomes whatever to accomplish the will of God, okay? And so I'm just going to summarize this, but basically what I was getting from the channeled message was that water is the best representative of God if you wanted to give God an elemental form. And really all the elementals could fit this role, fire, earth, water, wind. But essentially, we're going to talk about water for a minute because it's relevant. We know that water, when you speak to it, can transform its geometrical shape. And there are lots of studies, scientific studies, that prove this theory. Not that we need the proof. Anyone that you talk to who's like me, who is psychic, who's getting these messages, is not going to wait for proof to know what we know. What we are seeing and what we know is ahead of the science, okay? Science just comes back and proves what we already know, okay? So, but we do know that when we talk to water, it changes its shape. So what Jesus was telling me basically was the I am, or the becoming of divine beings, is realizing that we become what we think, right? That we can put purpose into whatever we want, that we can transform or transmute anything we want. This is the story of water into wine, okay? Now, there's probably a whole nother video I could make on transmuting and, recognizing when a shadow is teaching us and being thankful for both our good and our difficult experiences, being thankful for light and dark. There's so many things, so many avenues we could take that message in, and that's okay. But for now, what I was feeling for you guys and for everyone is to share with you a little part of my story, a part of my awakening story, because I feel like it's going to be helpful to people of varying frequencies, okay? So whether they're beginning to wake up, maybe they're in the process of it, or maybe they're already in the advanced stages of waking up. So one way that the body wakes up spiritually is through nutrition, okay? So this is why it has always been a passion of mine, supplementing, good water, good food, just clean eating as best you can. I know it's not possible to do it like all the time, just because, maybe you're on the go, or maybe you have to stop and get something and you don't know what is in that food exactly because it's a restaurant or whatever. But good food, good supplementing, good water, so powerful for the body, because the body is an instrument of the divine. The body is like an avatar to communicate with the realm here and your soul. But if you don't give a body what it needs, how well is it going to function? Okay, so think about like a vehicle that you have to maintain the oil and you have to maintenance that vehicle so it can perform optimally. Well, most humans, especially like where we live in this country, haven't had good food for so long, like real, pure, good, fruits and vegetables, clean meat, clean water, because of the way that the systems are designed to put in chemicals and pollutants in the food and the water. So it's been so long since they've had just like really good food, you know what I mean? So you can imagine why we have a collective of people who are not awake. Maybe they're beginning to awaken, but they're just not there yet, okay? Now, I understand at the same time, we've got all the celestial stuff going on. We've got planets aligning. We're getting hit with so much light. Yes, all that's happening. And that is going to speed up the awakening for sure, 100%. But just remember that everyone is sort of in their own realm and in their own frequency. So even when you speed up an awakening, and even when you know, bombard somebody with light, how that looks in their life is going to be different for everyone depending on what level of growth they're on, right? And so if you wanted to speed up this process, or if you wanted to assist the process, or let's say you are awake and you just want to enhance your abilities, like you want to amp up your psychic abilities, you want to get your messages, you want to get your dreams, you want to hear the angels, you want to hear your guides. Okay. So we know that you can meditate and work on that, right? Grounding, stretching, really being present in the body, going out in nature. These are all very important things. But don't overlook your diet when it comes to awakening. It matters so much, and I say this all the time, and I even have a little platform you can follow. It's on Facebook. It's just a little private page that I have, but you can request to join if you want to, and it's called Miranda's Healthy Living Inside and Out. I put recipes on that page. I give people ideas of things to cook, or ways to incorporate good nutrition into your life on a daily basis. And one thing I always try to do is put recipes that anyone can cook and that work for every budget. That always is so important to me, and it's very important to my guides. When we talk about awakening or helping or assisting, everyone here matters. Every person on this planet matters. Every person in the realm that you're in matters. Every person on the frequency that you're on matters. So I always try to share concepts that I feel like can be done no matter what budget you may be on as a family right now during this current use of money, until we replace it with energy exchange. Okay. And that's coming. I feel it. So don't be discouraged. Okay. Don't think that you can't eat clean or eat healthy if you're on a budget. Yes, you can. Okay. Just start paying attention to eliminating processed foods. Okay. I tell people, if they can't afford financially to get like a large filter for their home or under their sink, just get a basic little pitcher with at least a carbon filter in it, right? That's still cleaning your water. It's still giving you some cleaner version of water. Eliminate the plastics, okay? Please. If we know that Jesus is connected to water, we have to stop using things that are being thrown in the water affecting that realm. We have to show respect for the realms. Okay. So eliminate that, get a refillable container. You can get a little stainless steel container on Amazon for like, I don't know, they probably have them for like $5. Or if you have a bottle already, just use what you have and pour your filtered water in that. Okay. These are just simple little things. But when you do your water, when you pour your water, okay, go back to the parable of the water and the wine. Okay. What was Jesus teaching us? If every aspect of his life was a lesson for us to ascend through, he was teaching us the power of our words, to speak to anything, to transform it into what we need it to be. Okay? It wasn't about it being wine. It was about the power to transform and transmute and to make something what you want it. And this applies, by the way, to every aspect of your life. I'm just talking about nutrition right now, but honestly, every aspect of your life. Use your words to heal, awaken, and rise. Speak good over yourself. Speak good over your family. Speak good over the community. Even when it looks like it's in turmoil and doesn't look like what you want it to be yet, can you love it anyway? Can you love it? Can you love like the divine loves? Can you just be so much love that you begin to see everyone's stories and why they are so broken and why they got so lost and why they lost their way? If you can do that, and I know you can, you will begin to transmute it. And like always, everything mirrors back to us, okay? So when we see someone's story, then what comes back to us, right? We see our story. We begin to see ourselves more clearly. And the beautiful thing about that is we begin to transmute within our own body, right? as we do this, we become a more refined reflection of light, which also means that when we mirror back, we begin to help others to grow more. Okay, so it's this sort of give and take, the ebb and flow, the rise and the fall. That's what Toth always tells me. It's always about the rise and the fall when he's talking to me. So there is something about that tug and pull, push, pull, that helps us grow, right? So if I was going to put all this like in one summary, I guess I would just say, start speaking and using your words to transform the water into wine. Look at what you have your gratitude for it, and speak good of it, okay? Do what you can to start bringing those good foods into your life, good water, to the best of your ability. Work with what you can, okay? And then if there's something in your life that you just at this moment can't change, use your words, use your prayers, use your abilities, okay? This is why, in my opinion, the awakening journey is the most important journey right now at this moment. If everyone had their psychic abilities just on grid, ready to go, all this other stuff would just fall off. It is literally the most important thing anybody can be doing right now, is seeking to develop their spiritual connection to the ancestors, to the higher realms, to themselves, okay? Once you do that, everything else just becomes more and more and more clear. So, do the work to silence your fears, silence the overthinking, get into your heart space, connect, open your channel for love, okay? And don't underestimate the power of food and herbal remedies and herbal recipes to be able to help you do this. Remember that plants contain ancient wisdom. They are wisdom keepers. The more wisdom you consume, the more wisdom you embody. And inside of your body are all these keys waiting to be unlocked. And believe it or not, there is a direct connection between nature and you. So always incorporate nature into your diet, okay? This is why getting away from the processed foods is so important if you want to be spiritually awakened. This is why physical movement is so important. Moving your energy, moving the old emotions out, the old patterns. This is literally how you perform that miracle daily of transforming the water into wine, so to speak, in your own life. By literally witnessing yourself and witnessing what you put in your body, witnessing what you do to your body, witnessing how you care for your body. As you witness these things, you begin to change. And by the way, changing yourself is how you change the world. We did not change the world outside of ourselves by being angry at everyone, frustrated, watching the news, all the things. That is not where your power is at. Your power is in you. So if you want to turn the water into wine, you want to see the miracles, you want to make it happen, go on. Start with yourself. Start making a practice of speaking to your life, your food, your will, and speak love and healing and happiness to it, and watch what happens. I do this with my kids, by the way. So just a little segment if you want to do a fun exercise with children. I mean, I understand this is a deeper message for adults, but for kids, they're already there, okay? They're so open and beautiful and ready. We make these little glass jars, and we put clean water in it, and we cork it. And I recycle corks because I don't know if you know this, but those trees are very special and somewhat endangered. So I don't like go buy things like that. I just use what we have and recycle it. So, and you can buy recycled corks online, by the way. And you just clean them and use them. But we'll cork them. We tie a beautiful ribbon around it, and we write something on the ribbon for the water. Okay. And I let the kids choose whatever they want. So like, they can literally write whatever they want, but just tell them it has to be something positive for themselves. So like one year my son wrote, he wanted, I think he wrote wisdom. Okay, but he wrote it so cute. He wrote it like a kid, and he wrote it like he was writing wizard. And he did this by accident, but I knew it was no accident. But he wrote WIZDOM, wisdom. I was like, yes, indeed. But anyway, you can write whatever you want, something positive, something beautiful, okay? And watch what happens when they drink the water, okay? Like I'll have them do one that just says healing, right? I usually have them always do one that says love, right? And they have one that says power. So when they feel like they need more power, they drink some of their power water, okay? And don't underestimate their ability or your own to make that true, okay? So yeah, I think we all need to start seeing some miracles, right? But all it is about you realizing you're the miracle. And you've always been the miracle, and you've always been the story, and you've always been everything. And it's time to wake up and realize that and use your abilities. Okay? So don't think that miracles are happening outside of you. You are the miracle. Use your words, transmute this energy, speak to every aspect of your life with love and gratitude. Find the truth within every moment. And the truth is always love. I love you guys.